how will blockchain rule the world when it comes to gaming? So does anybody, just out of interest, have anything to say about gaming and blockchain before I present some ideas? You can raise your hands. As you can see on the right, there is a bottom right, there is a signal saying raise hand. So you can click on that if you have anything to say about gaming and blockchain. Or else I will kick it off. Ali, do you have anything to say about gaming and blockchain yet?
Nope, not yet. Haven't
Okay.
processed.
Okay, awesome. We'll let you guys start processing. So I will start. Oh, wait. We have a participant. Teresa, how will blockchain rule the world when it comes to gaming?
Can you give a quick description of what blockchain is?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, let me do that first. So, what you need to understand about blockchain is that it's revolutionary to the world. It is a technology that will allow people to create unique, specific products, programs, services online, and it's used for cryptocurrencies. It's very popular for NFTs, which are digital art, and ways to take over the regulated centralized system. So instead of using Android, iOS, Facebook, Twitter, you're actually using a blockchain, which is a bunch of algorithms where you can cut out the middleman and cut out all the industries. So there's going to be, with blockchain, it's going to be easier to track all the things that you do. There's going to be less manipulation, corruption. There's going to be more transparency, less costs. And so you'll be able to do anything, really. It's not just Bitcoin. For example, Ethereum.
And we lost you there.
Yeah, I don't know why you lost me there. It just muted me. Can you hear me now?
Nope, I didn't mute you. I don't know what happened.
No, I'm just saying it muted me. So yeah,
okay.
There's going to be huge advantages with blockchain because you're going to be able to choose how much you want to sell something for, buy it, exchange it, and you're going to do it through a decentralized system. So because we're on the eighth session of blockchain already, I'm going to give you some ideas of how gaming is going to revolutionize the world when it comes to blockchain. Is that all right? So the next streaming and online games may be through a decentralized operation, also known as crypto gaming. And this will allow gamers, programmers, and other entities to improve and build on the game to enhance an experience for all users. Okay? So by having a source place for gaming with blockchain, you're going to get opportunities to build on continuously and expand the game or expand the world of opportunities. So you know SimCity? Imagine a SimCity where you can literally go to your friends' houses. There's digital real estate. There's digital hotels. It keeps muting me. I can't believe it. I'm like on a roll here. What is going on, Alice? Old space is changing.
I have no idea.
I'm going to unmute, toggle mute all.
I mean, they're doing upgrades.
Yeah, I can see. Even getting on today. So where was I, Ali?
I lost you. Sorry.
All right. This is getting tough. All right. So you'll be able to create a social network or like-minded gamers. You'll be able to have a more stable, secure, and transparent operation with your gaming. You won't have to worry about crashes, manipulation, shutdowns, company interferences. Also, with gaming and blockchain, you're going to be offered financial benefits for gamers. So you'll be able to customize and sell your digital collectibles, art, games throughout the gaming industry. So I think it's a super exciting industry to be in. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be heading over to each of you to share your thoughts about how you think gaming is going to help with blockchain. And let's start off with Dylan because he's always got good ideas. Dylan.
Well, I think this is funny because I have a friend that made a world and he shared it with just one person and then it got shared all over the place and he was so angry. And I said, "Oh, this is something that blockchain would be good for because then you would have a patent on it." And because a lot of people on Altspace are buying the templates for worlds and paying hundreds of dollars. But I think when it comes to gaming, the most interesting thing is you can read a lot about the gamification of society. And it's interesting now that video games now they gross more than Hollywood movies, esports gross, it makes more money than real sporting events. And also games are like a test for what people can get away with in reality in terms of drone strikes, in terms of drones delivering things. And also in countries like China, you have something called the Sesame credit, which is like a social credit, where if you put things online that are loyal to the party, you get more points or social credit, and then you can travel on a train, you can travel overseas. But if you say bad things about the Communist Party, then your points drop, and then you can't even rent out a bike. So this is this is what I mean by the gaming of society. And I think it's a lot of people in the West now is scared because the vaccine passports coming, and they feel like this element could be heading towards Europe, the US, and South Africa. But I mean, to be blunt, the best thing about this is, in terms of patents and people who make ideas, then they can say, "Oh, you didn't steal from me. That I have it patented here in the blockchain." That's my thought.
So, an interesting thing about patenting is, let's say there is a type of Altspace blockchain game, right? Which is super awesome. And in this Altspace gaming, instead of having all the worlds segregated, they're all inside one world. Similar to our world. We drive to certain events, we fly to certain countries, we go to different tourist destinations within our own, we go to different restaurants. So imagine a world in VR, and it's all based on blockchain, where you can pay for builders to create your digital house, or builders to create anything really, tables, chairs. You pay for your clothing, you pay for paintings, whatever you want. And you can now visit your friends on Altspace, blockchain Altspace. You can visit certain hotels, and it's going to be monetized in ways that people are going to be making a living by building digital art within a world of this. And I think that's super interesting because it will never be tampered with. It cannot be hacked because it's done on a blockchain. In order to break a house, for example, you'll need to break apart all of the blocks unless you have your private key. If someone has your private key, you're fucked. That's just how it works with crypto and blockchain. And if you lose your private key, you're never going into your house. Just like if you lose your house key, you're going to have to break a door down and build a new door and get a new key. So it's very similar, and I think it's really interesting.
And then there's Pokemon Go and augmented reality, where people can sell products in your living room where reality mixes with virtual reality.
I mean, just think about this. Talking about augmented reality. You'll never need to go to... I know it's sad in some way. Ali's probably thinking, that's sad. But in your augmented, say for example, an augmented lens, a contact lens that you have, you'll walk into this room.
Wait for it.
And if you take out the lenses, it's just a blank white room with nothing on it. You put the lenses in, and you see paintings, and you see lights, and you see TVs, big TVs, and whatever you've bought through augmented reality. But anyway, let's move on to the next person before we have our discussion. Thank you, Dylan. Excellent start. and I'm sure it gives a lot more people ideas for blockchain. Let's head over to Vlad. Feel free to speak or pass.
Oh, hi everyone. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Hi. Good. You.
I was just entered a bit late. I'm not sure. I tried to catch up. It's about the blockchain and gaming in the VR world, but I will just keep comment for now.
It's
But yeah,
any
thanks for giving
gaming,
me the
Vlad.
word.
It's not just VR. It can be augmented. It can be building a game such as GTA 5, you know, like Grand Theft Auto style blockchain, anything, Minecraft style, you know.
Yeah, well, what I found interesting, I can speak about my recent experience with the here in the VR world. I think a day before it was interesting. I entered like a world where they made like a card game, so you was actually inside, like a, as if you play in Rio, and it was everything created by I guess by the user who created the world, and it was really fun. So this is something new I learned that you can play here in this
Oh wow.
virtual world.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And as they improve the interactivity, you'll be able to play cards, chess, anything really. It'll be playing, you know, the old-fashioned board games in virtual reality. And I'm sure that the opportunities are a lot more vast. There can be better graphics. You know, you kill a knight in chess, and you can literally see the guy being stabbed and thrown off or something. Like, how awesome is that? I think that's great.
Yeah, of course. I mean, especially if they improve the graphics in the future and you use the glasses, it will create really like real environment and 3D effects and everything.
Yeah.
It'll be cool, cool. I mean, up to now, the games give limitation. You know, when we talk about the real feeling, that how you feel the game. I mean, you just looking at the screen. But what I see in the future, I think they will try to create game that will be connected somehow with your senses, like you can smell things. It's like basically what they do now in the cinema, you know, with the 4K cinemas, where you can smell, you can feel the scene in the movie, so something like that.
Yeah, I mean
think.
that all
Something like
works.
virtual
That
reality
all
also.
works within the infrastructure that you buy. Because I've seen now there's gravity free. They call it like gravity free seats, where you're in a contraption and you can be in a spaceship and you can go upside down to the side. And for example, if you hit a rock, it shakes your chair. If there's like a gust of wind inside some world, it like shoots wind at you. I mean, it's really awesome. And Disney and Universal Studios have been working on those style of 4D and even 5D gaming. And soon it will be available for us at our own houses. You know, it's all within the infrastructure, I guess, and the computers that are built within it. Thank you, Vlad. Let's head over to Helion Aeon.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, blockchain. I mean, I must admit, I've seen a little bit about blockchain, and I'm curious. I must admit, my sort of software engineer head comes in, and there's more questions than the knowledge actually in my brain on this one. I had lots of Dylan here, probably be able to help. I think, aren't we already friends, Dylan? Oh, right, sorry, I'll add you. I'm interested in, it's a sort of question to put out there, that a blockchain, as I understand it, don't understand it, is basically a distributed ledger system, isn't it? Where everybody basically has records of all the transactions that are going on. Is there?
Correct.
So, for example, Bitcoin is just one blockchain, because people talk about the blockchain, and I'm curious as to how many of these blockchains we're going to get. I was in one of the meetings in here, not yours, but another one the other day, where they seem to be quite specialist guys in blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I can't remember the guy's name, but what was it now? Arc. There's a thing called Arc, ARK. And it was a product they were selling, and you could create your own blockchains. And it was on about how easy it was to create your blockchains for whatever. And I'm just curious as to what the multiplicity of these blockchains is going to be, because it's almost like so your example, you were saying like in Altspace, you could have one blockchain that everybody would use, or would you have lots of blockchains? I mean, how many? Because a blockchain itself is going to have to be, it's a distributed ledger. So for each blockchain, everybody who's using that blockchain has to have the complete ledger, don't they?
Correct.
The records of all the transactions.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm curious as to how they're going to interact. So, I mean, if you said, well, we'll have a blockchain for item, avatar clothes or something like that. Okay, fair enough. I can understand you could have a blockchain for that. So people start trading, and there's all these ledgers going around everybody. So then they want to sell. I mean, is it right? I mean, that you could then say, okay, well, I want to use that clothing in big screen, some other app, in VR.
These are all
blockchain...
these are completely different blockchains. For example,
well, this is what I'm trying to get clear. What the boundaries of a blockchain are.
Let me try and unclear that, or help you make it more clearer. And that is, you link blockchains to whatever product, services, or currencies you're linking to. So next week, a big spoiler alert, we're going to talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Spoiler alert. And yes, it is the biggest thing going on in America right now. There's some guy who sold an image for $69 million called 5,000 Days.
Yeah, so
he started the bid at $100. He was recording his reaction on the chair. He was like $100, 1,000, million, 21 million. I mean, can you just imagine? And basically, how it works.
It was a mosaic of images, wasn't it?
Yeah, photo mosaics. And and what you got to understand is that you link into blockchain. So, for example, here in South Africa, if I want to buy NFT, first I must go to a cryptocurrency exchange, and I say, all right, I want to buy 1 Ethereum. In order to do that, I'll have to deposit however many, 2,000 rand. $2,000, which is what is it, about 30,000
in some real currency.
So some real currency into the exchange to convert to Ethereum. All right, great. Now I've got 2 Ethereum. So then I go to
So is Ethereum one blockchain?
Ethereum is one blockchain, correct? And it's the cryptocurrency blockchain. So then I go to an NFT exchange, right? An NFT exchange, for example, there's Super Rare, there's OpenSea, there's Rareable, there's Mintable, I can go on. So I go to Super Rare, and I want to buy, sell, and exchange an NFT, or an image, or a GIF, or a video, or whatever I want. And I go and I say, all right, I want to buy this image. They say, okay, do you have Ethereum inside your MetaMask? And I'm like, hold on, MetaMask? What must I do with what's MetaMask got to do with the exchange I bought my Ethereum in? MetaMask is the language that this NFT Super Rare is connecting to. So I go to MetaMask and I say, how do I get my Ethereum from Luno, which is the South African exchange that I use, onto MetaMask? They say, okay, just copy your key. And I'll be like, okay. So I copy the key from Luno, send it to MetaMask. There's a fee, of course. There's always a fee. And then, boom, I've got my Ethereum inside MetaMask to communicate with Super Rare. So now, on the blockchain with gaming, you're going to go to these type of exchanges. You're going to say, all right, for clothes, there is this blockchain that I need to connect my Ethereum to, or whatever currency they're going to use. I want to buy digital real estate. I've got to now connect my blockchain to that real estate. The blockchain for the gaming is not. It's a blockchain in itself that's connected to hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands eventually of blockchains to create that system to work.
This is where I get confused, because how many blockchains are we going to have in 20 or 30 years' time? Is it going to be
thousands?
millions,
People are making
billions?
millions. It's like saying how many businesses are there going to be in the next 100,000 years? Hundreds or
The
1,000
thing
years.
is that all of them can be linked. Similar
That's-
how
Yeah,
everything
it's
is
the-
linked on the
okay.
internet.
Just like
Can
just
link accounts, maybe they will be linked as well.
And that's the important thing we need to understand about blockchain with cryptocurrencies, is that we are just repeating what we've done. We've got currencies from all around the world. Now we've got cryptocurrencies from all around the world. Now, then if we go to a country and we say, I want to buy a PS5, I'm going to give you 5,000 Rand. They'll be like, what is this 5,000 Rand? I need to go to an exchange that rands into dollars, go to the store and then give them dollars. It's exactly the same thing, but with algorithms, with no middlemen and no intermediaries. So to try and wrap
just that
your
they're-
head
they're-
around a system rather than how many blockchains there's going to be. You can create a blockchain. Elon Musk just created his own
that's right.
coin. Dogecoin, which is flying,
Dogecoin,
started off
yeah,
as a joke, as literally
I
a
wonder
dog
what
meme.
the dogs were, the pictures of dogs, yeah.
Exactly.
Huskies.
Bitcoin
Yeah.
started
What's
off.
going on, you know?
Bitcoin started off as a game, gathering.
He's going to put one on the moon, apparently.
Magic the Gathering. Exactly. There's going to be a Mars coin. So think of blockchain as a system of blockchains connecting and linking to all the others. So with gaming, that's why I said The Sims is probably the best example. Or Altspace. Think about Altspace. Altspace is kind of like what we were brought up. Dylan, you, me, Ali, we were brought up with Sims. Creating digital properties, paying for certain things, and keeping it. Now, so you can connect Sims to other people's properties, buy certain things, connect around the world. And with blockchain, it'll be done without that institution. But I'm talking way too much. So hope that helps.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried about the plethora of these things and how we manage the links between them and who's going to know what exchange you have to go to. I'm sure it would be very useful. The technology is amazing. I've once went through a video about how blockchain worked for Bitcoin, and it was very impressive. I'm just sort of not entirely convinced that we're not going to get ourselves in a complete little bundle of chains, and nobody knows where anything is. And if somebody pinches something over there, they're not going to know it.
Well,
anyway.
you could think about it like this, right?
Yeah.
So those 5 exchanges for NFTs that I mentioned, Super Rare, OpenSea, Mintable, Rareable, you're not going to see them connect to some dodgy blockchain that some American has created. They're only going to connect to the biggest. They're connecting the cryptocurrency to Ethereum. Maybe eventually they'll connect it to something else like Litecoin.
So who's going to?
Yeah.
Who's going to manage all this and regulate it and make sure that none of these?
The
big ones don't
blockchain
just
regulates it.
dominate
It's all within the algorithms.
But the blockchain is a set of algorithms, isn't it? Managing these ledgers, distributed
Yes.
ledgers. So
Yes.
it's not a thing that can. I know it's got the technology is there to make sure that the ledgers are distributed, that nobody can change them, and what sort of.
So
very
let me
good,
give you
but I'm
let me
just,
give you the basics of a
curious to see.
blockchain, of any blockchain, is a transaction is requested. Then you have a block that represents the transaction is created. Then the block is sent to all of the computers and parties in the network. It connects to all of the blocks. Then the network of computers verifies and approves the block. That is where the difference is. Were you saying, where are people going to manage it? No. It's the network of computers that are verifying and approving the block. And then if it is approved, it is put into and is added into an existing and permanent blockchain. And then the transaction is complete. Each block consists of a certain amount of information. It has the data of the new block, which is your code or your digital fingerprint. It has the hash of the previous block, so your code, letters, and numbers. It has the timestamp, and it has the transaction data.
Hence the chain, yeah.
So the guy in the gaming who's just bought a beautiful Guess t-shirt that's blue and red is the last item that was bought in the, for example, Guess blockchain. And then when the next person buys it, another item within Guess, it's going to be added next to it. And that's just going to be the Guess blockchain.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So these are, that's why I'm so enthusiastic about this, because these are full-time jobs that are soon to take over. Soon people are going to say, I'm a blockchain specialist in retail, fashion, gaming, currencies, whatever. Bitcoin is old-fashioned. Now, Ali and I, we've been trying to tell you that Bitcoin is not blockchain. Bitcoin is the foundation of bartering, of mining, of digging for gold. Now, it's all about contracts or smart contracts. It's about dApps, decentralized apps. It's about DeFi, decentralized finance. It is amazing. All right, so now that we have more people in the room, hope that helps, Helion Aeon. So because we have more people in the room, I would like to hear your thoughts on how blockchain will rule the world when it comes to gaming. And we'll head over to Elron. Ultron. Now that is a name for a blockchain. Ultron. Feel free to speak or pass. You have the opportunity. I'll give you the... where are you? I'll give you the opportunity to speak or pass if you'd like. Because I know you're new here. No? All right. Well, you can raise your hands if you would like to say anything. Let's go to Airy 007. Feel free to speak or pass.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So the question, how is blockchain going to rule the world when it comes to video games?
Yes. Or gaming in general.
Yeah. Well, I suppose with the way you play online poker, and you could actually start playing for money, technically, or blockchain.
Exactly.
You could start paying for all your games with the same. That just makes it quicker and easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. No middleman, no intermediaries. You get your game within seconds.
Yeah. Although I suppose it raises questions when the Financial Conduct Authority gets involved and stuff. You know, that there's other what's the word? Issues that can be raised when it comes to money laundering and criminal elements.
Wow, we got to save that for another day. But basically, the FCA or whichever financial institution that verifies transactions, the only thing they ever have to worry about is turning the fiat or normal currency into the cryptocurrency. Once you have the cryptocurrency, it is then taken out of all regulations. Only when it comes into your currency.
That in itself presents issues with, with money laundering and organized crime gangs and concealing money and so on.
Yeah, it's very true. We're in infant stages of that. So countries are banning cryptocurrencies until further notice to see how to deal with those issues. But good thoughts. Thank you, Airy 007. Adds to it. Let's go to Mike V. Mike V, you have the opportunity to speak or pass.
Okay, I
We
can.
are.
I'll speak. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Hi.
Okay. Yeah, I popped in late, but this is really interesting, and I've already heard you say stuff that I totally agree with, and that it's blockchain itself is such a huge deal, and it's not just about cryptocurrencies, man. I think smart contracts is really what's could change everything. But I guess when it comes to gaming, I think possible applications. Like, she mentioned gambling, but it just like I think, oh my God, like the possibility of esports and a whole economy around esports, paying to watch competitions or getting paid to participate in competitions. I mean, sports as we know it could almost all become electronic. It's a super interesting subject, and yeah, yeah, I could talk about it a lot. But it's um, I do, and there's definitely, I think, a political problem, which is government, at least with cryptocurrencies, governments run currencies. They have monopolies on running their own currencies, and they can, for political reasons, manipulate the currencies. They can print more money, and then everyone's money's worth less, and none of us can control that. But with a crypto, I don't see that happening, and that's why it will be weird. And it's certainly, I think it's wrong, but I do think governments are going to get scared and outlaw cryptocurrencies, and therefore make anyone who uses cryptocurrencies into a criminal, which is wrong. But I do see a conflict because governments want to keep control of their currency so they can inflate the currency, which is really just a dishonest tax. Anyway, so yeah, I don't want to take up all the time, but it's super, super interesting. Big changes are definitely afoot.
I think because governments do get something out of it when you convert the currency with certain exchanges. For example, Visa is now getting involved with Ethereum. And what happens is you've got to convert your dollars into USD coin. so you know that the government's getting serious when they're creating their own cryptocurrencies. But you got to convert your dollars into USD coins, and then Visa will be accepting USD coins and Ethereum into their future products and services. So I think for example, the money laundering thing, to start off with, there should be a limit as to how much money you can convert. Because when you're converting those dollars into Ethereum, who's to say that some guy overseas, or maybe your spouse overseas, is then going to take, for example, buy an NFT worth 15 Ethereum, buy it from the person. Then that guy goes overseas, has the Ethereum, has the work of art to begin with, that he had in the beginning, and now he's money laundered, or he's moved his money overseas without government officials or any regulation. But yeah, like I said, we've got to save that for another day. It's really a huge topic. Thank you, Mike VR. Let's head over to Ultra Funky Claves.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. This is how I see it. We are the changes that the older generation live in the real world, and then you have the younger generation that live at least with one foot in the virtual world or in the game world. And for them, it's as important to be in the real world and make something there as it is in being in the digital world and do things. And I even feel that sometimes the digital world, that footprint is even more important than real life. So in that case, I noticed the movement over to digital things, and then I was thinking, like said before, the e-game things. And with that, if we could use blockchains like a referee, in the way that if something happens, you can stamp that that thing, and that is the truth, for what happened in the digital world, in a way, like a result, if they were doing some e-games and that kind of stuff, that you go there to get the correct result if you're going to play a game that involves money. And that's how I can see that you can change. You can have the like a referee or the truth about what's happening. And then I also see it like this: if you play a game and you want to make it as lifelike as possible, you maybe only have one object in the world and in that world, and then you need to control that and see who has the ownership, so somebody doesn't manufacture the same thing. So in that case, I can think that a blockchain could be really interesting to register who owns that thing in the game. And also sometimes you're not allowed to in games to move a character from one person to another person. You're not allowed to sell characters.
Right.
So if you want to keep the character, you know what the character is controlling, owning, and who owns the character. And then you can have another quality in the games, because you're more controlled, you're more confined, because everybody can check that this avatar or this person, this character has not been moved to another person. It's still that person playing the game. So I think that it's in some sense that, again, the referee thought that we will keep the game more truthful to everybody in that world than maybe it is today, where you can fake result, you can do things that's not correct, you can go do game cheats, and so on. So that's my take on it.
Well, Ultra Funky, that's where NFTs are going to take over, not only individually within the exchanges like an auction. It's actually going to take over where it's going to be linking to, for example, gaming. So remember, it's non-fungible. And non-fungible means that you can't replace it. You can't change it. And they are completely unique within each other. So if you're selling clothing, for example, in a game, the best way to do that probably is through a non-fungible token where the owner mints, for example, 1,000 items, all right, of the same thing.
Yeah.
And so it's not as unique and rare as like a painting, but at least the owner has ownership and can take stock, if I can say it that way, or digital stock of the items that he's selling online. And that's why I was saying that you'll be able to buy real estate through gaming, music, paintings, videos, images, TVs, whatever. Anything that you can buy that's tangible on Earth, you'll be able to buy it as a NFT inside the blockchain.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking like ownership or items only. I think that if you could put in the blockchain the result of things, and how you own things, not like owning, like you don't have to buy it to own it. You can just like take ownership, and you can move the ownership too of a thing, but to check that this items are controlled by one certain person, and that person is the right person having it, and you cannot move that ownership digital to somebody else. So always you're dealing with the same person. That's blockchain. But I'm saying like that could change the way how you play. Like you had Dungeons and Dragons before, like this live role game playing. You could have more lifelike games, controlling things in that way. It doesn't have to be monetary that you buy anything, just that it's controlling the environment, because they know certain points in the game. You see how I'm thinking?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's all based on the criteria of the person within the game, of what they will allow or not allow. Because nothing is limited when it comes to blockchain. Either they can give it for free, or they can sell it. They can sell it, and when the other person sells it, they get commission. They can auction it, bid it, buy it, the way that people can change the value.
Yeah, but actually, I want to confine. I'm talking about that you have the possibility to confine things more than you can now. That's the thing. That's really the thing. Not that I want to make it as big as possible. I want to confine people that they don't have the movement, because you can always check that are the facts about that character the correct things, like go to the blockchain, see, yeah, this is that person, so you can find them. So it's more of a controlling things that helps you put a rule set to what are you doing, a referee, like the points, how things are. I'm thinking probably the way around using blockchains, not to build things bigger, just to find things to be smaller.
Yeah, to have more
secure.
rules, have more rules.
Yeah, yeah. Apply more rules to the gaming, so people don't do fake numbers with things, or try to put a result that it's not correct. That everybody knows that was said that time by that person, and they know for sure that's the person behind this. So it's not like a hearsaying or something. So you can somehow control the gameplay that way.
You can always,
when money gets involved.
You can always go back and see the transactions that took place. That's what makes the blockchain transparent.
Yep.
And you can see the time that took place, the transaction, the blockchain it was dealt with. It's all within that public key and the information. All right, Ultra Funky, thanks so much for your thoughts. Let's head over now to Maximus Comfort. How will blockchain rule the world when it comes to gaming?
Just waiting for you to accept.
Yes.
Am I okay now? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
The bitcoins are being banned by certain governments because it's a threat to their economies. They want total control on any kind of currency, and the reset that's going to be coming to the United States, I can see there's going to have problems with that because there's too many people that are going to be unemployed. So they're going to have a form of controlling riots and so forth, because people they get they're desperate. All these Bitcoin and Bitcoins and all that stuff, and even the Chinese government, they're all coming up with their own coins, at 20 cents, whatever they call it, each. And then you're supposed to, like Bitcoin going up to $40,000. You can't have that. They want total control. In Great Britain, when I did some currency exchanges, no more than $3,000 a day. You can't go any further than that. Yet you can write a check for 60,000 pounds. And when you add the 2 cents here and 2 cents there times 60,000, people make money out of that. But they put a halt to that, and identifying individual purchases. They're just totally controlling everything in a casual. You feel like it's casual, but it's not. You have to fill out all the forms before you get any kind of account. So it's games and all that stuff. Like these kids, they win, pounds as for the games, and it's all in the in the virtual systems. They need control. And I've been to a country where they had script change. They give you 4 hours to change over your money to new money, and if you don't do it, you have to explain yourself in order to change your money over. That's the kind of stuff that's going to happen. It's total control they want. Everybody's going to be controllable. It's going to be a cashless society, the whole bit. And they say 1984. How about 2084 when all this stuff happens? Just thought I'd mention it.
I mean, they're shit scared with the regulations at the moment. So as we mentioned,
they're working on it.
VR,
and they have got it down pat. They know all about it.
There definitely needs to be limitations to stop the money laundering. I can understand it on an economical point of view and what it can do to the country.
Serial numbered items. Serial numbered items.
Yeah.
They want to control it.
Yeah. You
ain't going to be dealing anybody. You won't be dealing with anybody. It's all going to be through computers. And anybody who thinks they're going to get interest rates up, it's going to be controlled too. Yeah. Like right now they're going crazy on buying houses right now with the interest rate so low. Definitely. In the States. You better buy that house now or forget it. And that's the way it's going right now.
Yeah.
It just takes a week to lose a house that quick.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Maximus. All right. Ali, your thoughts after all this?
I like the idea of safety. So if it's going to be a reality, augmented reality where you can immerse yourself in and you have to you enter it confirming your identity, I think it will be a lot safer for children as well, because I see now with being in quarantine, a lot of kids are on the internet and there are a lot of risks. So short and sweet, I really like the safety of it. And obviously the perk of it, of being immersed in the augmented reality, you get to see things that you would never see. But my only concern, as you guys would probably know me, is losing touch with reality.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all about keeping it real.
I mean, it's all about balance. Yeah. It's all about balance of adapting augmented reality, virtual reality, and real reality. That is the key.
For us, that some of us may be a little bit more aware, it is easy to keep a balance. Unfortunately, for some kids, teens, young adults, it's not always easy to keep a balance in your life. I mean, with our generation being one of the first generations getting exposed to computers, when I first got the internet in Greece, I was online for God knows how many hours on end, right? Without getting up from my computer.
Well, you had to download one song. You had to be on for hours anyway.
No, just being on Skype, being on Facebook, speaking to people online, and
MSN.
now being immersed in MSN, good old Yahoo and MSN. Oh my gosh, did we love that? So many good memories over there. Yeah. So with being exposed to an augmented reality, there are risks with getting lost in it as well. I mean, I think there are a lot of other health issues and risks that need to be considered as well. But anyway, I don't want to go off topic. But I like the safety of it, especially for children.
Definitely. And augmented reality, remember, augmented reality, you're actually looking at the world with an augmented touch. So, for example, you can go to France, look at the Eiffel Tower, and then the augmented reality side will tell you the dimensions, it will tell you when it was built, it can tell you any information you want while you're standing there. So you're enjoying both, reality and augmented reality. Virtual reality, on the other side, you're immersed within the world that you're in. You've got this thing on your head. You're blocking out the world.
Yeah.
And also, there's limitations, but luckily there's still battery with virtual reality. After 2 hours, you guys got to take it off and then go and enjoy the rest of the world. that's how it is so far.
I don't know when technology goes into quantum technology, because as you guys know, I'm all about frequency, right, and vibration. And unfortunately, the technology we use affects our vibration and our frequency. It lowers it. Anyway, so I don't know if we go into quantum, I don't know if that can be affected in a positive sense and not have such a bad impact on us, with being able to still be immersed into other other realities, augmented realities or virtual realities, without actually having that effect of frequency on our actual bodies and energetic bodies.
Remember,
going off topic.
Remember, there's two things to quantum computing. First thing is speed, and the second thing is it doesn't work on binary ones and zeros. It works on ones, zeros, and ones and zeros. Which means that quantum.
I'm talking for future.
Which means that quantum has the opportunity to provide new information for the first time into the computer world. So when there's quantum, there's no such thing as loading time and waiting for things to download. It's instantaneous. That is the power for quantum. And then you can imagine how much more we'd get done with the quantum world. But yeah, that is a little bit. And
I have a feeling that in the future, maybe quantum will actually be able to I'm looking for a specific word, integrate into our human existence in a sense. And I don't mean with wearing things. I don't know. I'm just going beyond here.
You
For
just
those
want
of you
to.
that for those of you that meditate might catch my drift. For those of you that won't understand. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll save that for another whole series. Actually, I wanted to do quantum in Oh My Brain for about 3, 4, 5 episodes because I've got so much more to talk about. But the thing is, it's way into the future. Blockchain is happening now, and now we have some ideas and points of what we can expect. And over the last couple
we can get a kickstart.
Exactly. And now what you can do is, I don't know if you've been watching Oh My Brain, but if you head over to Facebook, the page Oh My Brain or VR Digital Citizens, you'll see all the videos there. In the last couple of weeks, we've spoken about how blockchain will rule the world when it comes to voting, trading, social media, goods and services, currencies, music, movies, banking. Wait, have we done banking? Maybe we should. Okay.
No.
Well, let's skip banking. Maybe it'll bore people. Games, crowdfunding. Crowdfunding was the first one. Healthcare, supply chain management,
social media,
where we nearly lost everybody. Yeah, social media. And then next week we're going to go into non-fungible tokens, NFTs. What a way to end a beautiful bunch of events. So if anybody has anything to say based on what we've spoken about today, I would love to hear your thoughts. You can raise your hands. And let's go. Helion.
Quick point following up from what Ali was saying, actually. Quantum computing is going to be so powerful that you'll be able to break any encryption on blockchains that exists at the moment.
Correct.
So there's going to come a point where blockchains are just going to dissolve because anybody can break into them. So it's just a thought. Just bear in mind, it's just one of those things to bear in mind.
I mean,
it may
I'm
improve.
already feeling it's already here.
There may be quantum
encryption,
encryption, which is equally as hard to break as normal encryption is at the moment. But yes, there's going to be races of technology which will have an effect on whether it's useful.
I'm going to take a stab at
pretty
this.
Interesting.
I'm going to take a stab at this because we don't have quantum even at its near point here in the future. Because the thing is, I don't think the standard metal style motherboards and computers with binaries, ones and zeros will do its trick. I think that quantum might kick into the future when we're using a different type of material, such as silicone or some water-based type into a computer. But I do not think with our current technology, we have anything to create that quantum effect where there's able to add new information, because you are entering into possibly where computers can start to think for themselves for the first time in the life. Right now, we feed information into a computer. The computer retains the information and spits it back out at us. Why we think the computers are so clever is because all the information is coming from millions of different points from all over the world into the source, for example, Google, Facebook and all that. And we believe that computers are clever, but there is nothing of new information. Quantum, we are not even remotely near there in terms of developing a computer of a different substance. But if
I believe as long as we are thinking on rational levels, total rational levels, we will never get to that level. When we opened our minds up a little bit and we think a little bit out the box, and I'm just going to leave it at thinking outside the box, not just with the rational mind, then quantum, our ability to get into quantum technology will excel at fantastic speeds.
You have to
anyway.
You have
two or three of you guys do understand me in the room. You know,
you have to have a Steve Jobs mentality, and that is what is Microsoft doing? What is Huawei, Samsung
IBM.
doing? Okay, great. Forget everything that
IBM
they're doing. forget everything that they're doing, restart from the beginning. Basically, you need a restart to create a new system, new computers. So quantum, you can't use old technology. You can't use old ways of thinking. And I don't know anybody that's been able to create a computer with silicone. But anyway, let's head over to Cybervines. But yeah, I love quantum computing, the idea of it. As Halion said, once quantum is entered into the world, every type of your password would have been hacked within milliseconds, because it's able to take in trillions of data of information per second, because it's going, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's both, instead of let's try this next, let's try this 1 1 1 1 0 0. It's combining it all within itself, which is powerful. All right, Cybervines, hello and welcome. Good to see you. Cyber.
Hey there. Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
I was just going to mention something on Alien's side. We're kind of already there. The process of Bitcoin mining, that's what it does. It decrypts the actual package. So we're already there. That every single Bitcoin that is actually being mined is decrypting the package that is being sent. The process is kind of like a Rubik's Cube. You have 27 characters in a Rubik's Cube. You can embed information into the data. And on the other end, all that needs to happen is an algorithm, and it will decrypt that package. And no matter how complex you make the Rubik's Cube, how, messy you make it, you just have to run a simple algorithm to decrypt it. And that's actually the entire process.
It's true, but it's also limited to the processing power that our computers can deal with at the moment. Because remember, to mint a new Bitcoin requires, with all the halving that's taken place, we have to consider all of the nodes and the computers that are, all the blocks that have taken place from the beginning of Bitcoin. And that's the reason why they said in the year 2150 will be the last Bitcoin that would have been minted. And it's purely based on their clever algorithm of halving and increasing processing power per Bitcoin. Genius, but still archaic. And Bitcoin is the thing of the past. Like, it's amazing how it's started and the foundations, but it's definitely not where we're going with blockchain and cryptocurrencies. But it's awesome when you learn about the Bitcoin's initial purpose was not currency for the world, but a currency for a game. It's incredible. Hitashi Makamoto, what's his name? I can't think. All right, thanks so much, Cybervines. And that brings us to the end of the blockchain event for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Full of information, tons of ideas. I freaking loved it. I've given you all your voices back, so you can stick around, continue the conversation. Head over to the Greek Taverna. Chat to Ali. I'm out of here. So, Ali, thanks for joining.
I'm going to be leaving too.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. Nice event. Lovely seeing you all.
Loved it.
And we will catch you
non-fungible token. Yes, tomorrow, Moral Dilemma. Join the VR Digital Citizens group if you haven't. And Oh My Brain next week, Thursday. Wait, I might be flying. Okay, maybe.
In the clouds.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be flying, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll let you guys know. Just join VR Digital for reminders. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Timon. It was nice.
It was awesome. Cheers, guys.